Starting your Lock or natural hair journey is oh so rewarding, but can be extremely stressful when you start to consider what products to use. If that's you, then look no further. Locklicious is a Black-owned company that has created an all-natural product line for locked and loose natural crowns. The Locklicious team works hard to ensure that their products are free of parabens, phthalates, sulfates, PEG, synthetics, and other toxic chemicals you find in other products. Best of all, the products are lightweight and will not leave residue or cause buildup. Go to locklicious.com to start treating your crown like royalty.
There's a woman by the name of Amy Wax. She's at the University of Pennsylvania Law School. She also has a medical degree as well. She's a neurologist. Well, she was on Tucker Carlson's show that's on Fox Nation. And I want you to listen to this woman. Now, this is a woman that's teaching at a college. This is a woman that has access to people's medical records and actually treating patients. I want you to hear how she speaks about Black people and also other groups of people. Let's roll that.
How is that different from vandalism? It just seems like people coming in and wrecking everything that was valuable in an institution that they never built themselves.
It's very reckless and destructive. It's very vindictive. It's very angry.
Yeah. Where does that anger come from, do you think?
I think there is just a tremendous amount of resentment and shame of non-Western peoples against Western peoples for Western peoples' outsized achievements and contributions. I mean, it's really unbearable. I was actually, leaving aside American Blacks, who I think do feel that resentment and shame and envy. I mean, it's this unholy brew of sentiments. I was talking to Glenn Lowry about this bizarre fact that Asian and South Asian Indian doctors at Penn Med, which I know people there and I know what's going on there, that they're on the ramparts for the anti-racism initiative for Dump on America. America's an evil racist place. These are immigrants.
The number one highest income group in America is
hate America.
Right.
A goodly number of them,
but
not all.
You're from a group, I mean, first of all, I hate even thinking in terms of groups anyway, because what matters is the individual, obviously. But as long as we are, if you're a member of the highest income, highest achievement group in America, and you're looking down another group, native-born whites, for example, and saying you're the problem, like, how does that work exactly?
Well, that is, to me, utterly bizarre and fascinating. And
why does anybody put up with that?
Right. I'm not saying all Indian immigrants are this way. I'm just saying you look at the roster of, who's leading the programs, the endless number of programs where they talk about diversity and racism and all the racism that people have to encounter in medicine and how racist medicine is and all this. And you see these brown faces or you see these Asian faces and you think, I mean, literally, you think, so you're coming from your country, which you're implying, is equal or better than our country.
Literally.
And you're telling us how awful we are. Well, what's the explanation for that?
I feel this video is very good because it peers into the mind of people like that who have white supremacist views. Now, when I tell you that the white supremacists that you need to be focusing more on is people like Amy Wax. We already know Tucker Carlson. He comes from money and a lot of it, okay? We know his thing. Don't even need to cover him. We talked about him enough. But Amy Wax is the people that will come up with something like eugenics programs, or she'll come up with things in law to hurt and harm Black people for mass incarceration, etc. But her comments about Black Americans, she said that we resent Western people, and when they say West, they mean white, okay? Anytime you hear the word West, Western system, and I say the word West a lot myself because we all live in the quote unquote West. That's what that's called. So she said that we resent them. She said that we feel shame and that we are jealous of their achievements. Well, Amy Wax, let me tell you something. Let's walk that down. you say that we resent you. When most black people think about the treatment that your community has done to us historically in this country from the time we got here, and some of us are already here as well, and putting our ancestors through slavery, some of the most brutal slavery known to man for about 230 years. How are we supposed to feel about that, Amy? How are we supposed to feel? And then after slavery, you had Reconstruction, about 10 years or so. And then you had the Great Compromise, and then it was back to attacking black folks again. Then we went through all of that, the black codes, we went through that. Of course, mass incarceration has always been the way things have gone in this country. Your ancestors have stolen our land in the millions, bombed our churches. You had us swinging from trees. I mean, what haven't your ancestors have done to my ancestors? And we should be proud of that. And then you say, people like you would say, well, it's so long ago, we need to move on. I wish it was so long ago and that we can move on. Well, see, the thing is, Amy, you have a system that not only was built off of slavery, you gained the wealth from slavery. You made sure to destroy and steal the wealth of black people, and then look back at black people and say, why don't you pull yourself up by your bootstraps, when people in your community never had to pull themselves up by your bootstraps, because somebody was always doing everything for you. If it wouldn't be definitely the black American who built everything, because what institutions did you build with your hard sweat and tears? Really think about that. You didn't build America. There was no America until black Americans built it. That is just the truth. So you didn't build America whatsoever. You look at the White House, we built that. You look at the Capitol, we built that. Benjamin Banneker, a black man, designed Washington, D.C. You wouldn't have a D.C. wouldn't be for a black man. So what did you really build? You wouldn't even have NASA. It wouldn't be for Benjamin Banneker. I can walk through so many different inventions that black Americans have done to innovate America. What do we really we don't resent you for being you. So we're not you, ma'am. We're not you. We don't resent you for your skin color. We don't resent you for even having something. That's not it. We resent the treatment. Yes, we do resent that. We resent your asinine responses to it. We resent that. That's really the truth. We resent that. You think we should be happy about that? You think we should be happy about a system of injustice? And we know you run it. You run that system. You keep that system going of injustice. And we supposed to be happy about that, Amy? We supposed to be happy about that. No, we should not be happy about that. We should never be happy about that until you have a system of actual justice and equality. That's when we should be happy about this. So no, we don't resent you. We don't resent you physically. We don't resent you intellectually. We don't resent you in no way, shape, or form. We are the culture of America. Take black folks away from America, and then we have you. No seasoning, no nothing. It's the truth. There's nothing about you that we resent. I promise you. I promise you. Now, you said shame. We don't feel shame about you. There's nothing about you that we look at and say, oh my God, I feel so shameful. And then she says that toward the end that we're jealous. No. I promise you, I do not think about people like you, Amy. I'm talking about those like the white supremacists. In my daily life, I don't think about you. I really don't. I'm focusing on my life and what I got going on. Other black people in America are focused on their lives and what they got going on. If you would stop being white supremacists and just leave black people alone, I promise you it would be cool. Because we got so much going on in our own community that we need to fix, solve, etc. And that your community has been the one that caused our issues and problems. You understand? Everything that's wrong with Black America, we can always trace it back to the beginning. And then it's people like you, Amy, that caused that issue. And then we bring that up to you, you get upset. You want to say we angry, we hateful, we don't like you. It's not about that. It's just you. That's the way you respond when truth comes to you. And then when you talked about diversity, you rolled your eyes. Yeah, I know you don't believe in that, because it's nothing about the culture of white supremacy that believe in any kind of equality for anybody. You believe in you being Lord and Master and everybody else being oppressed underneath you. That's what you believe. Now, you mentioned about Indian immigrants coming over here, and you mentioned Asians coming over here. And even they, what you admit, are saying that you are being white supremacist to them as well. That's why they calling you out. This is why they're joining anti-racist groups, because they see, wait a minute, well, if I'm not them, they treated me different too. That's why they're joining that. It don't matter about so-called success that an Asian person may have or a person from India may have. It doesn't matter if you treat them like crap. And yes, every institution that's in this country is controlled by the white supremacists and have white supremacy in it. And when you talk about medicine as being one of the areas of activity, shout out to our brother Neely Fuller for revealing those 9 areas of activity. I want to make sure you give our brother his props. And he said medicine. And the white supremacists run medicine. You purposely try to not have as many black doctors. And if you do have a black doctor or a black nurse, you're trying to recruit them from other countries. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we got black people right here that want to be doctors and nurses. And you shut them out with money. You shut them out. This is why we have a big shortage of black doctors and black nurses. And it's even been proven that black doctors and black nurses have a better health care with black people. It's been proven that in your system, the way you're taught when you're talking about medicine, that you come up with this asinine thing that black people, can tolerate more pain and not treating us as human beings as you would treat others, especially your own group. That comes from racism, white supremacy. So we are actually in a danger with more people like you actually than a Richard Spencer or your local Klansman, because you would be the one that's at the doctor's office, since you have that medical degree as well from Harvard Medical School. You would be the one in the courtroom, since you went to Yale as well. Okay? You're double dangerous. You're more dangerous than any kind of neo-Nazi running around. See, people, that woman right there and people like her are the dangerous ones for you and for me. The ones that actually have an education and have ways to get up in things that those running around in the streets screaming the N-word all day can't ever get to. But it's nothing about your system that we're jealous of. No, we just want to be free of that kind of treatment. But see, I understand you. I have accepted how you feel. See, a lot of people within the black community have not accepted, and some of them have. But I've accepted that in the culture of white supremacy, you can't do nothing no different. Now, sure, you have people within your community who see that culture is wrong, and they're speaking against it within your own community. But because you feel that's the culture, you will attack that other white person for speaking up for what's right. You won't even acknowledge in history any white person that has fought for equality, fought for black people to do things. You don't even want to mention them. That's how bad it is. There are many white figures in history they never talk about. Never. They always want to talk about the ones that were the slave owners, the ones that was oppressive, the ones that killed the Native Americans. That's the ones they want to talk about. They don't want to talk about the white people who fought in the civil rights movement, white people that fought in the abolitionists. Well, they'll never want to talk about those white people. They don't put no statues up of those white people because they wasn't following the code. They wasn't following the code of their culture of white supremacy. That's why they never talk about those white people. Any white person today suffers if they ever, do speak up. They suffer all the time. So no, ma'am, we're not jealous. We're not resentful of a system that's, kind of written with a doctrine of demons. No, we're not. We want righteousness. That's what we're looking for. And that's what we want. So I know in your asinine mind, you think that because you think black people just thinking about you like that. But no, we're not. Just pay us our reparations and leave us the hell alone. And we good. I promise you we good. We are not going to even bother with you like that. And a lot of people like myself is, working on themselves to make sure to have their place in the African continent. Some black folks are on that like I am. Okay? So no, the last thing we think about is you. Your world is spiraling down anyway, ma'am. It is. It's spinning like when you flush the toilet. That's exactly what's happening. And it's not that nobody hates America. America itself didn't do nothing to nobody. Let's call it what it is. America is a country. It's nothing wrong with America. America could actually be 1,000 times better than what it is. But the problem with America is not America, the country. It's y'all that's running America and leading America. And you talk about these immigrants, a lot of these immigrants are coming over here because you, and I'm talking about your community, has done things in their country and screwed a mess up too. Read books like Confessions of an Economic Hitman. Read that book of how they do all this dirt they was doing in Latin America. Every time they got a president they want to do right by the people in Latin America, here they come either bribing him or taking him out with a coup or actually taking completely out. You understand? Every time you got leaders in the African continent that want to be good, it's the same thing. And then when these people want to come over to this country, you want to say, why we got all this immigration? But if you actually do the research and go back to why their countries is messed up in the first place, you always going to find the white supremacist hand in it somewhere. Where there's calamity, you will find the white supremacists. I promise you that. Just do the research if you just don't believe me. Please. And then the thing is, you will even hurt your own people in your own community. That's the crazy part, because you still had that elitism mindset that came from Europe. There's plenty of poor white people that's suffering all the time with your policies that you do, but you don't even care about them. You just want to maintain white supremacy that benefit the elites in this country, and the elites is you. So, now, check yourself, ma'am. Check yourself, please. Now, many people have, of course, there's a backlash to that, and rightfully so. And you should have a backlash to this woman. This woman should, but they said this is not the first time this woman has made comments like this. She's been known to make comments like this, and she still has her job at the University of Pennsylvania. This is why I tell black people to go to the HBCUs. Go to the HBCUs. People pay a lot of money to go to University of Pennsylvania. Go to the HBCUs. Black Americans need a safe space to learn. You can't learn when that kind of woman gonna be your teacher? Seriously? Her? No, I wouldn't pay not one dime, not one, to get an education from somebody that evil. Because that woman is evil. It just amazes me how these people, but it don't amazes me because I understand it is in the culture. And when you've been doing something for 500 plus years in this land, and you keep saying why it keeps happening, the reason why I keep using the word culture, because they teach it. They teach this and pass this down to the children. You understand? So it just keep on going and going and going. So it is a culture. But let me know, ladies and gentlemen, with a comment. I'd like to know what you think, about this particular woman. Now, imagine if she was your teacher. Imagine that. You paying all that money at the University of Pennsylvania, and that woman's your teacher. That would be interesting. Make sure you click that like button, and make sure you also subscribe to find out when we post new content. And don't forget to click the notification bell. We got to make sure to keep up, with us. We're posting things every day. And also, I want to let you know that if you do not see any kind of videos from us here pop up in your feed, go type in African Diaspora News Channel. Sometime, for some reason, YouTube unsubscribes some of you. Trust me, they've done it to me with people's channels that I watch all the time. So I know what I'm telling you on that. And also make sure you check that notification bell, because sometimes they'll take that away too. So we want to make sure that you can get the content in a timely manner. Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out the African Diaspora News Channel app in the Google Play and Apple App Store.